Welcome back, travelers and dreamers. If you've ever imagined waking up to ocean breezes, sipping fresh coffee on a mountain terrace, or strolling through cobbled colonial streets, all for under $1,000 a month, then this is the video you've been waiting for. Because today, we're revealing 22 of the most beautiful, affordable, and livable destinations on Earth. Places where your retirement dollars stretch further than you ever thought possible. From the highlands of Mexico to the hidden beaches of Colombia, each spot on this list offers its own slice of paradise with low costs, high comfort, and warm, welcoming communities. And trust me, you'll want to stay till the very end, because the final 7 are literal havens, breathtakingly beautiful, deeply peaceful, and still unbelievably affordable. So sit back, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a travel secret like this. Also, share this video with friends or family who are dreaming of retiring abroad. They'll thank you later. Let's explore the 22 best places to retire overseas for under $1,000 a month, ending with our crown jewel, Santa Marta, Colombia. 22. Medan, Indonesia, the secret Asian mega deal. Welcome to Medan, the place you've probably flown over on your way to Bali, without realizing this northern Indonesian city could actually be your $1,000 a month paradise. Located on the island of Sumatra, Medan has about 2.5 million people, just enough to keep it interesting without feeling like a human mosh pit. Medan isn't some sleepy village, it's a living, breathing mashup of Dutch colonial charm, Indonesian vibrance, and spicy street food so good it'll make you question every Thai restaurant you've ever loved. You can rent a decent modern apartment here for $300 to $400 divided by month, eat like royalty for under $10 a day, and still have enough left over to join a local golf club or fly to Bali every other month. Locals call it the food capital of Indonesia, and Redditors agree. One user joked that Medan is the only city where gaining 10 pounds is considered a cultural experience. Between the noodle soups, spicy curries, and coconut desserts, you'll need more willpower than a monk to avoid culinary chaos. And the people? Incredibly warm and welcoming. English is spoken decently in the younger crowd, and it's a safe, easygoing city if you follow common sense. Crime rates are lower than Jakarta or Bali, and traffic, while chaotic, is more lively symphony than death trap. The best part? Weekend escapes. Within a couple of hours, you've got Lake Toba, the world's largest volcanic lake, a spot so jaw-dropping it looks AI-generated. You can soak in the view from a $20 lake view cabin and still have cash left for fried bananas and bintang beer. If Bali is overhyped and overcrowded, Medan is like Bali's chill older cousin who actually invested his money wisely. 21. Antalya, small towns, Turkey, the affordable Riviera. Imagine waking up to turquoise waters, Roman ruins in your backyard, and rent so low it feels like a typo. That's Antalya, Turkey's southern coast gem, where $1,000 a month buys you the Mediterranean fantasy and a few cappuccinos to spare. Now, Antalya city itself is touristy, but the secret is its smaller towns, places like Kaş, Kalkan, or Side. These are the postcard-perfect, stonehouse, olive tree-lined hideouts that locals whisper about. Think Amalfi Coast beauty, but your wallet doesn't need CPR. Rent a furnished apartment near the sea for $400 to $600 divided by month, and you're living a life influencers fake on Instagram. Add another $200 for food kebabs, meze, baklava, and you'll wonder why you ever paid $18 for avocado toast back home. Retirees on Reddit love it. One user said, "You can sit at a cafe for 3 hours with one coffee and nobody gives you a death stare." Another wrote, "It's like living in a museum, but with better Wi-Fi. Antalya is safe, the locals are friendly, and the healthcare system is surprisingly modern, especially in the coastal cities. Plus, the weather? Over 300 days of sunshine a year. You'll tan faster than your grandkids' TikTok feed refreshes. If Europe is too expensive and the Caribbean too far, this slice of Turkey is the sweet spot. It's the kind of place you visit for 6 months and somehow end up buying a house. 20. Sucre, Bolivia, the city that forgot to charge rent. Sucre isn't just Bolivia's constitutional capital, it's the unofficial capital of good decisions. If your dream retirement involves cobblestone streets, whitewashed colonial architecture, mountain air, and an espresso for $1, Sucre is your soulmate. The city sits at about 9,000 feet above sea level, so it's got that perfect eternal spring weather, no need for heating or air conditioning. And the cost of living? Ridiculous. You can rent a cute one-bedroom with a courtyard for $250 to $300 divided by month and live comfortably under $1,000 total. The locals are friendly, crime is low, and there's enough culture to keep your brain active. Concerts, art galleries, language exchanges. Plus, expats here are a fun, low-key bunch. As one Redditor put it, everyone in Sucre looks 10 years younger, probably because stress is too expensive here. Sucre has that rare mix of calm, color, and history. You can sip coffee in a 200-years-old courtyard cafe, stroll past cathedrals that look painted onto the sky, and still have time to learn salsa at night. Negatives? The altitude might leave you huffing for the first week, but honestly, once you realize your rent costs less than your old cable bill, you'll breathe easy again. 19. El Zonte, El Salvador Bitcoin Beach Bliss. El Zonte used to be a quiet surf town. Then, one day, someone decided to buy a pupusa with Bitcoin, and suddenly it became Bitcoin Beach, a tiny coastal paradise with big digital dreams. This little town population, maybe a few thousand, sits on El Salvador's Pacific coast. It's got golden beaches, consistent waves, and a sunset so good it looks like it was photoshopped by God. Here, $1,000 a month is overkill. You can rent a beachfront bungalow for $400 to $500, divided by month, eat fresh seafood for pocket change, and spend your days surfing, hammocking, or learning Spanish from the locals. Reddit calls it the chillest beach town in Central America. And another expat wrote, "I came for a week, stayed a year, and still can't remember why I ever left." The government is investing heavily in the area since it became a crypto hotspot, so infrastructure and security have improved dramatically. You'll find yoga studios, smoothie bars, and even a couple of boutique hotels run by expats who couldn't resist staying. Downsides? If you're allergic to sand or peace and quiet, maybe skip it. But otherwise, El Zonte is where time slows down, and your money doesn't disappear with it. 18. Granada, Nicaragua. Colonial dreams on a budget. Granada looks like it was designed by a painter with too much imagination and a thing for color palettes. It's Nicaragua's oldest city, a pastel masterpiece of colonial architecture, volcanic backdrops, and cobblestone charm. Here, retirees live like royalty on $900 divided by month. We're talking a one-bedroom with a pool, housekeeper twice a week, and fresh fruit markets that feel like nature's Costco. Located on the edge of Lake Nicaragua, the city offers a tranquil pace but plenty of fun boat tours, poetry festivals, salsa nights, and expat meetups that somehow always involve rum. Reddit users describe it as the most livable colonial city in Central America, and the place you move to when you realize Costa Rica's gotten too expensive. Crime is low in Granada compared to Managua, and locals are famously welcoming. Healthcare's improving, Wi-Fi's reliable, and the sunsets? Unreal. Negatives? The heat can get real, but so can the margaritas. Just move a little uphill or invest in a fan that doubles as your new best friend. Granada is for people who want history without headaches, affordability without sacrifice, and a tan that looks suspiciously permanent. 17. Belitung, Indonesia, the island that forgot to be famous. If Bali and the Maldives had a secret love child, and that child never told anyone it existed, that would be Belitung. This little-known island off the coast of Sumatra is Indonesia's best-kept tropical secret, and somehow, it's still possible to live here like a beach baron for under $1,000 a month. Belitung is all white sand beaches, granite rock formations, turquoise lagoons, and villages where time moves slower than your old Windows XP computer. The population's under 300,000, and the biggest rush hour here is a few scooters heading to the fish market at sunrise. You can rent a seaside bungalow or a modern one-bedroom house for $300 to $450 divided by month. Fresh seafood costs less than a Starbucks latte, and utilities are barely a rounding error. It's the kind of place where you can sip coconut water all afternoon without worrying about your bank balance or your blood pressure. Redditors who've stumbled upon Belitung rave about its Bali vibes without the Bali prices. One wrote, "I spent a month there and never saw another foreigner. It's like someone built a paradise and forgot to advertise it." The island's capital, Tanjung Pandan, has cafes, a small airport, and decent healthcare clinics, nothing fancy but reliable. Crime? Practically non-existent. Locals greet you like a long-lost cousin, and community here still means something. And when you need a little excitement, you can hop a quick 45-minute flight to Jakarta or a ferry to Bangka Island. Otherwise, you'll be perfectly content doing what Belitung was made for: relaxing, eating, and convincing your friends their overpriced beach vacations are a scam. If your idea of retirement bliss is castaway luxury without the chaos, Belitung might just be your personal heaven, minus the influencer crowd. 16. Kampot, Cambodia, the town that runs on vibes and pepper. Kampot isn't just a town, it's a state of mind. Located in southern Cambodia along the sleepy Praek Tuek Chu River, this place has quietly become one of Southeast Asia's most magical retiree retreats. Imagine palm trees, French colonial buildings, riverside cafes, and rent so low it feels like a math error. You can snag a cozy one-bedroom with river views for $250 to $400 divided by month and still have half your budget left for lazy breakfasts and evening beers by the water. Reddit expats describe Kampot as the place people come to relax and accidentally stay for 5 years. One wrote, "Every time I try to leave Kampot, the town just looks at me like, really?" The vibe is laid back but colorful. You'll find yoga retreats, art galleries, and a growing expat scene that feels like a real community, not a tourist invasion. The air smells faintly of Kampot pepper, the world's most famous pepper, and the sunsets over the river are so beautiful you'll forget what day it is. Crime is low, locals are warm, and English is widely spoken. Medical care is basic, but Phnom Penh is just a few hours away if you need anything serious. The biggest danger here isn't crime or cost, it's contentment. Kampot is where plans go to die. You'll move here to write that novel, and 5 years later, you're just another legend at the Riverside Bar, still talking about page 1. If paradise had a hammock and a slow Wi-Fi signal, it would look exactly like Kampot. 15. Dumaguete, Philippines, the city of gentle people and gentle prices. Welcome to Dumaguete, the place where retirees and students coexist in the friendliest tropical truce imaginable. Known as the City of Gentle People, Dumaguete sits on Negros Island in the central Philippines, a relaxed coastal city with big expat energy and small-town soul. Here, $1,000 divided by month goes a long, long way. You can rent a comfortable one-bedroom apartment with air conditioning for $300 to $450, feast daily on seafood and mango smoothies for $10, and hire a housekeeper twice a week without feeling guilty. It's a university town, so it's lively without being wild. You'll find international cafes, bookshops, live music, and retirees mingling with local students over espresso shots stronger than most relationships. Reddit's verdict? Glowing. One user called it Southeast Asia's best secret retirement town, while another said, Dumaguete has the best cost-to-comfort ratio I've ever seen. It's also a gateway to natural wonderland. You've got waterfalls, coral reefs, hot springs, and Apo Island, a diver's dream, all within a day's reach. Crime is low, healthcare's solid thanks to Silliman University Medical Center, and English is an official language. The only downside? You might get spoiled. Everything's so easy, friendly, and cheap that visiting anywhere else afterward feels like financial betrayal. Dumaguete is where every day feels like Sunday, and nobody's in a rush to prove otherwise. 14. Zela, Quetzaltenango, Guatemala Highland magic for pennies. High in Guatemala's western highlands sits Zela, locals call it Shayla, a colonial beauty surrounded by volcanoes, cobblestones, and colorful chaos. It's got that old-world charm and Latin warmth that make you forget there's a world beyond your morning café con leche. Zela is a city for people who like real culture, Spanish schools, local markets, and street marimba bands, not just souvenir shops. And here's the kicker. You can live comfortably on $700 to $900 a month without even trying. A cozy apartment? $250 to $350. Fresh fruit? $1 a bag? A full meal? The same. Retirees who've discovered Zela on Reddit call it Latin America's most underrated gem. One user wrote, "I came to study Spanish for 2 weeks and ended up buying a house. The weather's perfect springtime all year round, thanks to the 7,600-foot altitude." Locals are welcoming, the expat crowd is small but tight-knit, and crime here is relatively low compared to Guatemala City. You'll have mountains to hike, hot springs to soak in, and endless cultural events to attend. Plus, the nearby town of Lake Atitlan is a day trip away, arguably the prettiest lake in the Americas. If you've ever wanted to live in a painting of Latin America that costs less than your Netflix subscription, Zela's your spot. 13. Arequipa, Peru. The White City, that glows at sunset. Arequipa isn't just another colonial city, it's a cinematic masterpiece carved in volcanic stone. Nicknamed La Ciudad Blanca, the White City, this southern Peruvian gem sits under the gaze of 3 dramatic volcanoes and basks in 300 days of sunshine a year. With around 1 million people, Arequipa is lively but not overwhelming. It's Peru's second city, yet somehow feels like a small town dressed up for a photo shoot. A stylish 1-bedroom apartment here costs around $400 to $500 divided by month, and your total monthly spending will rarely top $900 unless you get addicted to Arequipa's legendary cheese empanadas, in which case, fair warning. Reddit users gush over its mix of beauty and calm. One said, "It's the only city where I feel like I'm living in history without losing Wi-Fi." Another joked, "Arequipa's sunsets should come with a warning label, may cause permanent awe." The city is clean, safe, and filled with charming courtyards, elegant architecture, and some of the best food scenes in South America. And healthcare? Excellent. Peru's private clinics in Arequipa are modern and affordable. If you're looking for a place that feels like Florence but costs like Fresno, Arequipa is it. The only downside? You'll have to remind yourself not to spend all day staring at the volcanoes. 12. Bucaramanga, Colombia. The city of eternal spring and zero boredom. Welcome to Bucaramanga, Colombia's best-kept urban secret. If Medellin is the Instagram model of Colombia, Bucaramanga is her effortlessly gorgeous cousin who doesn't even try and still wins. Known as La Ciudad de los Parques, the city of parks, Bucaramanga is green, clean, and quietly sophisticated. It's perched in the Andes at about 3,000 feet, which means the weather stays a perfect 75 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. No air conditioning, no heating, no drama. Here's what makes it irresistible for retirees. You can live very comfortably on $800 to $1,000 a month. That includes a modern apartment for $350 to $450, groceries for another $200, and enough left over for coffee, empanadas, and weekend trips that feel like mini vacations. The city's got over 160 parks, modern malls, great hospitals, and perhaps most importantly, almost zero foreign tourists. This isn't Gringo Central. It's real Colombia, but safer, cleaner, and friendlier than most people expect. Reddit expats rave about Bucaramanga as the place where everything works, but nobody's bragging about it. One wrote, "It's Medellin without the hype and without the price tag." You'll find art galleries, salsa clubs, and open-air cafes where you can sip world-class Colombian coffee while watching paragliders drift across the skyline. Yes, paragliding Bucaramanga is the unofficial adventure capital of Colombia. Crime? Manageable and improving. Most neighborhoods, like Cabecera del Llano, are calm, tree-lined, and filled with retirees walking dogs instead of dodging chaos. If you want an affordable city that blends Colombian charm, perfect weather, and just enough excitement to keep life spicy, Bucaramanga's your final destination. It's Medellin for grown-ups. 11. Loja, Ecuador. The cultural gem that time forgot tucked in Ecuador's southern highlands, Loja feels like a watercolor painting brought to life, quiet, charming, artistic, and criminally underrated. While Cuenca gets all the foreign attention, Loja just keeps minding its own magical business, and locals wouldn't have it any other way. This city of about 200,000 people is known as Ecuador's music capital. You'll hear guitars strumming in the plazas, see poets reading on corners, and find retirees sketching mountains from colonial balconies. It's that peaceful. The weather's the kind of perfect that meteorologists dream about, around 70 degrees Fahrenheit all year long. You won't need heating, air conditioning, or even a sweater most days. You can rent a cozy modern apartment for $300 to $400 a month, grab lunch for $3, and still have money left over to join a Spanish class or hit the local cafe scene. Your full monthly budget? $800 to $950, and you'll live well. Reddit expats describe Loja as a quiet Cuenca without the crowds or price inflation. One wrote, "Loja is where time slows down, but the Wi-Fi doesn't. It's also one of the safest cities in Ecuador. You can walk the cobblestone streets at night with a coffee in hand and not worry. Healthcare's solid, nature's at your doorstep, and locals are warm, curious, and welcoming. And when you need an escape, Vilcabamba, the Valley of Longevity, is just 45 minutes away, where people famously live past 100 and still climb hills faster than tourists. Loja is the kind of place you don't just move to, you exhale into it." 10. Boquete, Panama coffee, clouds, and calm. Boquete isn't just a town, it's a retirement legend. Nestled in Panama's western highlands near the Costa Rican border, Boquete is a postcard come alive. Rolling green hills, fresh mountain air, and coffee plantations that smell like heaven's waiting room. This little town population, about 20,000, has quietly become an expat haven, especially for retirees escaping the chaos and cost of the West, and it's easy to see why. A modern one-bedroom apartment here costs $450 to $600 a month, and your full monthly spending, including groceries, healthcare, and the occasional bottle of wine will hover around $1,000. The weather? Springtime. Forever. The temperature rarely strays from 65-75 degrees Fahrenheit. Locals joke that you can spot newcomers because they're still wearing sunscreen in the clouds. Redditors call Boquete the Switzerland of Central America. One wrote, "It's where I learned that coffee tastes better when you can see the mountain it grew on. There's a thriving expat community here, but it hasn't lost its local soul. You'll find farmers markets, live jazz nights, yoga by waterfalls, and hiking trails that look like they were drawn by Pixar. Healthcare is excellent, crime is minimal, and thanks to Panama's retiree visa, the Pensionado program, you'll get discounts on everything from electricity bills to movie tickets. If paradise had an altitude adjustment, it would look exactly like Boquete, calm, cool, and caffeine-powered." 9. Mérida, Mexico. The colonial jewel that ages like fine. Tequila Mérida is what happens when elegance meets energy. Set in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, this colonial masterpiece is all pastel mansions, Mayan heritage, and European flair, but with tacos. Lots of tacos. It's often called the safest city in Mexico, and with good reason. It's clean, orderly, and family-centered. Even the police seem polite. The city of about 1 million people has managed to stay remarkably calm despite its booming popularity. Here's the magic. You can live in a colonial apartment in the city center for $500 to $700 a month. Eat Michelin-level food for local prices and still have enough left for salsa lessons and weekend cenote swims. Your total monthly budget? $1,000 to $1,200 max. Reddit users gush about Merida's vibe. One said, "Every evening feels like a festival." Another joked, "It's the only city where my landlord invited me to dinner and brought mezcal. Healthcare's excellent, Wi-Fi is fast, and the expat community is vibrant but respectful. The humidity's the only minor villain here, but hey, that's what siestas and margaritas are for." Merida is a retirement dream for anyone who wants culture, color, and comfort. A place where every street corner looks like an art exhibit, and every meal feels like a celebration. If Paris and Oaxaca had a baby, and that baby spoke Spanish and offered property tax discounts, it'd be Merida. 8. Ipoh, Malaysia. The Asian secret you'll want to keep. Ipoh is what you'd get if Penang and Bali had a quiet, underrated younger sibling, and she happened to be stunning. Nestled in the limestone valley of central Malaysia, Ipoh is all colonial charm, jungle cliffs, hot springs, and coffee shops that could put Starbucks out of business. The city has a population of about 700,000, but feels small-town friendly. It's safe, green, and outrageously affordable. A comfortable modern apartment costs $400 to $500 a month, and your entire budget will hover around $900 to $1,000. What do retirees love most? The food. Ipoh's cuisine is so famous that Malaysians drive hours just to eat here. Between silky white coffee, curry noodles, and dim sum, you'll forget you ever cooked for yourself. Reddit users describe it as the most livable city in Asia that nobody talks about. One wrote, "Ipoh is like Penang before the tourists ruined the parking. It's clean, well-connected, and only 2 hours from Kuala Lumpur. Healthcare is world-class and cheap, and the expat scene is relaxed, more cafe chatter, less nightlife chaos. The surroundings are pure magic. Cave temples, jungle trails, and hot springs where you can literally soak away your stress. And unlike Bangkok or Bali, you won't be choking on traffic fumes to get there. Ipoh is for those who crave beauty, order, and flavor, a secret slice of Asia where you can sip coffee, watch the rain roll down limestone hills, and wonder how something so nice can cost so little." 7. Penang, Malaysia. Where cultures collide and cuisine reigns. Supreme Penang is the kind of place that spoils you for everywhere else. It's not just an island, it's a living, breathing postcard, where street food smells like heaven and colonial architecture hums with stories from centuries past. Imagine waking up in a high-rise condo overlooking swaying coconut palms, the distant sound of street hawkers calling, out breakfast specials, and a sky painted with streaks of pink and gold. You're not just alive here, you're in a tropical symphony. The island's capital, Georgetown, is UNESCO certified for a reason. Cobblestone streets wind past pastel shophouses, centuries-old clan temples, and murals so clever they practically wink at you. Every corner bursts with life. Old men sipping kopi at tiny tables, trishaws rattling along alleys, and hawkers serving char kway teow that will make your taste buds shout, "Hallelujah." A full, authentic meal can run as low as $2 to $3, and street snacks? Forget it, it's like happiness by the fistful. For retirees, Penang is a dream. Modern apartments with pools, gyms, and sea views start around $350 to $450 a month. Utilities are minimal, and healthcare is world-class yet affordable. English is widely spoken, from menus to doctors' offices, making life easier than you imagined possible. And the city isn't just livable, it's fun. Beaches like Batu Ferringhi offer the perfect sunset walk, while the bustling night markets tempt you with handmade crafts, satay, and coconut desserts. Reddit expats swear by it. Came for the food, stayed for the life. Another, "I pay $1,000 a month here and feel like a millionaire without the stress of taxes and traffic." It's true. You'll be sipping iced coffee on a balcony, watching the sun sink over the Malacca Strait, wondering why you ever dreamed of Miami condos. Yes, there's humidity, think tropical, sauna, and traffic in downtown Georgetown can get quirky, but honestly, with $1,000 a month, that's just part of the charm. You get luxury at a fraction of the cost, culture on every corner, and food that could end wars. Penang is more than a city, it's a lifestyle. It's morning walks along the sea, afternoon cafe hopping, and evening dinners under lanterns. It's comfort, adventure, history, and culinary bliss, all in one tropical paradise you can afford. 6. Da Nang, Vietnam, the future-ready beach city. Da Nang is what happens when a tropical paradise gets a PhD in modern convenience. Picture this: golden beaches stretching farther than your mind can wander, mountains rolling lazily in the background like they're in no rush to do anything, and a river slicing through the city that catches the sunset just right every evening. It's the sort of place that makes you go, wait, $1,000 a month? Really? This central Vietnamese city has the perfect balance. Lively enough to keep you entertained, but calm enough that your soul feels like it's on permanent vacation. Mornings start with a walk along Mai Kay Beach, where the sand is soft, the waves are inviting, and the locals nod politely as you try not to faceplant into the foam after your first dip. Afternoons might include a cafe crawl, and yes, the coffee here is absurdly good, served in cups so small and strong they might double as espresso grenades. Or you can hop on a scooter rental, $50 to $60 a month, and explore nearby mountain trails, quaint villages, or the magical lantern-lit streets of Hoi An, just 30 minutes away. Housing in Da Nang is laughably affordable. For $350 to $500 a month, you can snag a modern one-bedroom apartment with a balcony overlooking the ocean, a pool to dip into after your morning lunges, walks, and sometimes even a gym. Utilities are low, and internet is reliable enough that you could start a blog about your retirement paradise without a single Wi-Fi meltdown. Eating out is absurdly cheap, too. $2 to $3 for breakfast, $3 to $5 for lunch, $5 to $8 for a seafood feast that makes your stomach and your Instagram followers cheer simultaneously. Redditors can't get enough. Da Nang is what Bali wishes it could be: all the beauty, none of the chaos. Another chimed in, "I came here thinking it'd be cheap. I stayed because my heart refused to leave. And honestly, that's the vibe. You're not just paying a low cost of living, you're investing in joy, peace, and a lifestyle that makes waking up every day feel like a vacation." Da Nang isn't just a city. It's a lifestyle manifesto, a place where mornings are for movement, afternoons for exploration, and evenings for reflection, preferably with a cold drink in hand, waves kissing your toes, and the occasional fire-breathing dragon overhead. It's paradise, convenience, culture, and affordability, rolled into one glorious, vibrant package. 5. Cuenca, Ecuador. The city that time forgot. In the best way, Cuenca is one of those places that makes you question everything you thought you knew about retirement. Perched high in the Ecuadorian Andes at 8,400 feet, this city manages to feel timeless, cozy, and impossibly vibrant all at once. Picture cobblestone streets winding through a colonial town painted in pastels, grand cathedrals glinting in the morning sun, and flower markets so colorful you'll wonder if Mother Nature herself took a holiday there. Then, sprinkle in a backdrop of misty Andean peaks and cloud-kissed valleys, and you're living inside a screensaver. For retirees, Cuenca is practically a cheat code. Rent for a charming colonial apartment starts around $300 to $500 a month, utilities are tiny, and healthcare is top-notch. Private clinics boast English-speaking staff and affordable rates, so a routine checkup costs less than a dinner for two back in the States. Food is another reason to never leave. $2 breakfasts of fresh fruit, empanadas, or Ecuadorian tamales. $3 lunches of hearty soups, grilled meats, and rice. $5 dinners that would make a Michelin chef nod in approval. And the eternal spring climate? Forget sweaters. Cuenca averages 72 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, with breezy mornings and comfortably cool nights that make you want to open all the windows and pretend you're starring in a cozy romance novel. The charm doesn't stop with practicality. Cuenca's culture will wrap you in its warm, colorful embrace. Festivals are frequent and fabulous, from the Independence Day parades to smaller artisan markets where local painters, potters, and musicians proudly display their craft. The cobbled streets of El Centro invite wandering, whether you're exploring hidden cafes, boutique shops, or quiet plazas with benches just begging for you to sit, watch, and people watch like a local sage. Expats love Cuenca, and Reddit agrees. Comments like, "I live here on $900 a month and feel like a king," or "I came for the climate, stayed for the lifestyle," echo across the forums. The city has managed the rare feat of being both welcoming and authentic. It's a place where you can live comfortably without feeling like you're drowning in tourist traps. Cuenca isn't just a city, it's a promise. A promise that you can retire beautifully, live richly, and spend your days immersed in history, culture, and natural beauty without spending a fortune. It's cobblestones underfoot, cathedral bells above, and Andean winds that feel like a hug from nature herself. 4. Plovdiv, Bulgaria, Europe's best-kept secret. Plovdiv is the kind of city that makes you question why you ever thought Europe had to be expensive. Imagine wandering cobblestone streets older than Athens, past Roman theaters, where you could almost hear the echoes of gladiators, alongside Renaissance mansions painted in ochre, blue, and rose. Then add the faint aroma of fresh pastries drifting from a corner cafe, the warm buzz of locals sipping coffee in the sun, and the occasional street musician plucking at a guitar, and you've got a European city that feels more like a dream than a budget-friendly retirement destination. Cost of living is where Plovdiv really shines. For $400 to $600 a month, you can rent a beautiful one-bedroom apartment in the city center or a modern flat with a terrace in a quieter neighborhood. Meals at local restaurants hover between $3 and $7, fresh produce from markets is insanely affordable, and public transport or taxis are so cheap it almost feels like you're cheating the system. Healthcare is solid and easy to access, with English-speaking doctors available in private clinics. You could easily retire here for $1,000 a month and feel like royalty. But the city isn't just cheap and charming, it's downright magical. Step into the Roman amphitheater and imagine attending a concert under the stars. Stroll along the Maritsa River and watch swans glide gracefully past. Climb to the Nebet Tepe hilltop at sunset and witness Plovdiv bathed in gold, the mountains in the distance blushing with twilight. It's Europe, but without the soul-sucking crowds or crippling costs of Paris, Rome, or Barcelona. Plovdiv is history, art, and culture wrapped in one gloriously walkable city. It's sipping coffee in a sunlit plaza, wandering hidden lanes, and discovering new murals every week. It's evenings at wine bars, where local reds rival anything you've tasted in Tuscany, and weekends spent hiking the surrounding hills or exploring nearby monasteries. Retirement here isn't just living, it's starring in your own European fairy tale. 3. Tbilisi, Georgia. Where old souls and free spirits meet, Tbilisi is the kind of city that sweeps you off your feet without even trying. Nestled along the twisting banks of the Kura River and framed by the Caucasus Mountains, Georgia's capital is a city of contrasts that somehow feels perfectly balanced. Medieval fortresses shoulder to shoulder with modern bridges, cobblestone alleys lined with balconies dripping bougainvillea, and bustling squares where the scent of khachapuri, cheese bread, competes with the faint tang of sulfur from the famous bathhouses. It's cinematic, chaotic, cozy, and utterly irresistible. Living in Tbilisi is both easy and delightfully affordable. For $400 to $600 a month, you can rent a charming apartment in the heart of the old town, complete with a balcony overlooking twisting streets and mosaic rooftops. Utilities are low, groceries are cheap, and the cost of eating out rivals the pleasure of cooking at home. Expect $3 to $5 for breakfast, $5 to $8 for a hearty lunch, and $8 to $12 for a dinner that feels like a feast. Private healthcare is accessible and inexpensive, and while Georgian isn't widely spoken everywhere, Most young people and expat-friendly establishments have enough English to keep life smooth. Tbilisi's charm is as much in its people as its streets. Locals are warm, animated, and possess an unshakable pride in their culture. Wander into a cafe or wine bar, and you'll quickly be invited into a conversation, a tasting, or even a toast to new friendships. Redditors frequently gush. Tbilisi doesn't just welcome you, it seduces you. And anyone who's spent more than a week here can attest to that. There's an infectious energy in the city. Part artist colony, part history museum, part eccentric uncle, who tells the best stories, all of it wrapped in a cozy, walkable, slightly chaotic package. Tbilisi isn't just a city to live in, it's a city to experience. Mornings here are for exploration, afternoons for discovery, and evenings for indulgence. You can sip wine, wander alleys, dine on hinkali, dumplings, that will make your heart sing, and know that life this rich doesn't have to cost a fortune. If Plovdiv delivered European charm and Cuenca offered mountain serenity, Tbilisi combines history, eccentricity, and intoxicating energy into a single city that feels like a lifelong adventure. Retiring here isn't just a decision, it's a choice to live vibrantly, laugh often, and sip your wine while the Caucasus Mountains blush in the sunset. And yes, you can do it all for under $1,000 a month. Paradise, indeed. 2. Oaxaca, Mexico. A feast for every sense. Oaxaca isn't just a city, it's a full-blown sensory celebration. From the moment you arrive, your eyes, nose, and taste buds are all competing for attention, and your soul quietly sighs in relief. Yes, this is what paradise looks like on a budget. Imagine cobblestone streets painted with colorful murals, balconies draped with marigolds, and markets bursting with handwoven textiles, artisan crafts, and the smell of roasting cacao mingling with spicy mole. It's Mexico distilled into its most soulful, joyous form. For retirees seeking a place where life is a little slower, a little brighter, and a lot more affordable, Oaxaca is a dream. Apartments in the historic center, charming colonial homes with courtyards, rooftop terraces, or balconies can be rented for $350 to $600 a month, often including modern conveniences like Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and secure parking. Utilities are modest, healthcare is accessible, and English is spoken widely enough in expat-favored areas that navigating daily life is a breeze. And the cost of food? Laughably low. A breakfast of fresh tortillas, local cheese, and fruit might set you back $2 to $3. A market lunch of tacos or a hearty plate of mole, $3 to $5. And dinners at local restaurants are a steal for $5 to $10. You could live like royalty, indulge like a foodie, and still save a little cash for mezcal tastings. But Oaxaca's charm extends beyond the city itself. The surrounding valleys, mountains, and beaches make weekend escapes easy and gorgeous. Zipline through canyons, hike volcanic peaks, or lounge on the Pacific coast, all within a few hours' drive. The climate is perfect, with sunny days and mild evenings that let you stroll, dine outdoors, or simply sip coffee while watching the world go by. Redditors are unanimous in their praise. Oaxaca is art, food, culture, and relaxation all wrapped into one beautiful city, and I live here for less than $1,000 a month. Another chimed in, I came for the mole, stayed for life itself. And honestly, that captures it perfectly. You don't just live in Oaxaca, you savor it, day after day, festival after festival, plate after plate. Oaxaca is joy in motion. It's mornings wandering markets, afternoons exploring colonial streets, and evenings sipping mezcal under fairy lights while a street guitarist plays your favorite tune. It's beauty, flavor, history, and affordability rolled into one breathtaking city that practically begs you to slow down and enjoy life. 1. Santa Marta, Colombia, where the jungle meets the sea. Santa Marta is the kind of city that makes you stop mid-breath and think, wait, this is real life? Imagine palm-fringed beaches stretching endlessly under a Caribbean sun, the turquoise waves lapping gently at golden sand, and the dramatic Sierra Nevada mountains rising sharply behind the city, like nature decided to frame its masterpiece. It's Colombia's oldest city, founded in 1525, yet it somehow feels fresh, vibrant, and unapologetically alive, a rare combination that makes retirees swoon and expats smile like kids in a candy store. Living in Santa Marta is surprisingly affordable, especially given its paradisiacal setting. Modern apartments with sea views can be rented for $350 to $600 a month, often with pools, gyms, and terraces perfect for sunset cocktails. Utilities are low, groceries are cheap, and dining out is a joy. $2 to $3 for breakfast, $5 for lunch, and $8 to $12 for a seafood feast that makes you wonder why you ever paid double back home. Private healthcare is excellent, and expats report that English is increasingly common in tourist-friendly areas, making daily life a breeze. For $1,000 a month, you could be living like a Caribbean king or queen, with money left over for weekend excursions or indulgent dinners. Santa Marta is not just a beach town, it's a gateway to adventure. The nearby Tayrona National Park is pure magic. Pristine beaches, jungle hikes, and waterfalls that seem too good to be true. Venture a little further, and you can explore the mystical lost city, Ciudad Perdida, or sip coffee in the charming mountain town of Minca, where misty peaks and cascading waterfalls make you feel like you've stumbled into a tropical dream. Even locals will tell you, life here is about balance, a little sun, a little jungle, a little history, and plenty of relaxation. Reddit expats love Santa Marta. One wrote, "It's like living in a postcard. Mountains, sea, affordable living, I pinch myself every morning." Another chimed in, "I came for the beaches, stayed for the lifestyle." And that's exactly the appeal. You're not just paying for a place to live, you're investing in adventure, sunlight, nature, and a daily dose of Caribbean joy. Santa Marta is the kind of city that doesn't just make retirement affordable, it makes it exhilarating. Mornings are for beach walks, afternoons for jungle hikes or cafe lounging, and evenings for dining on fresh seafood under a sky full of stars. Every day feels like a celebration, every sunset like a personal masterpiece, and every weekend like a mini vacation. Retire here on $1,000 a month, and you're not just living, you're thriving in a world where the jungle meets the sea. Every day feels like vacation, and life refuses to be anything less than magical. And there you have it, 22 incredible destinations where you can live comfortably, peacefully, and joyfully without breaking the bank. From charming colonial towns to tropical coasts kissed by the sun, these places prove that a rich life doesn't have to come with a rich price tag. So, which destination spoke to your soul? Was it the quiet mountain serenity of Ecuador, the Portuguese charm of Europe's hidden corners, or the Caribbean rhythm of Santa Marta? Comment below and let us know. We love hearing your thoughts and travel dreams. If you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to like, share with friends or family, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get all our future travel and retirement secrets. Because sometimes, the biggest adventure of all isn't traveling the world. It's finally choosing where you'll call home. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and remember, paradise is closer and cheaper than you think. Thanks for watching.